Alright, so I got one against some other dude, and I'm using Rematch's team again. This dude is running some pretty standard shit, and he has a Genesect, which, as you all know from that other battle, kinda gives me a lot of problems. So, kinda worried about that Genesect. The Breloom's kind of a threat if it manages to get up some Swords Dances. Scizor, I don't know, I guess it could be annoying to my Mamoswine and my Latias, but that's about it. Swampert is a fucking Swampert. It just takes a hit and then sets up Stealth Rock, then it fucking dies. Because in this meta game, there's too many fucking strong ass powerful Pokemon. And he's got Rotom, which is a Rotom, and I have plenty of things for that. And by plenty of things, I mean 2 things. So it's not really too much. So the lead, I figure he's probably either gonna predict my Politoed lead and end up leading off with a Breloom. Maybe he'll lead off with Genesect because he could scare me out with a Thunder or U-turn. Or maybe he'll do some other shit, I don't know. But I'm gonna pick Latias lead because I mainly figured he'd predict my Ferrothorn lead, predicting his Genesect lead so that he could take Iron Barb's damage or something like that. Because I don't think he'll carry the Flamethrower since he does have Rain of his own. But like I said, I'm thinking Breloom. So I like with Latias just to try to side shock that bitch and immediately kill it. I think he ends up leading with Rotom, so that's not very bad for me because I could always just Draco Meteor that bitch. But I'm gonna predict him to either be Scarfed and Volt Switch out to Genesect, predicting the Draco Meteor, or he's either gonna just directly switch into the Genesect because it could threaten me and it will resist the Draco Meteor. So like I said, I was predicting that, went for the Surf. He ends up triggering me the Choice Scarf, which I am not complaining about at all, since that actually helps me more than it does him, since now I actually have a Scarfer on this team to outspeed Scarf Genesect, so Scarf Genesect no longer such a gigantic fucking problem. So I stay in here, go for a Surf, because like I said, he doesn't really threaten me. Then I decide, fuck it, I'm going to go into Ferrothorn, try to get up some Stealth Rock as soon as possible, and he ends up going for HP Ice that turn. Doesn't do shit, but he is threatened out either way, so I'm going to get up Rocks. He brings in this Breloom thing, and this thing, you know what it does, it's going to put some shit to sleep. So I don't really want anything else on my team asleep, and Ferrothorn already got up Rocks, so I was like, fuck it, go to sleep, Ferrothorn, it's nap time in this bitch. Ugh, what am I doing? No, fuck that. Never again. Anyway, I predict him to go for the Swords Dance or something. That was actually a horrible move on my part. That was too risky, but it ends up working for me, I guess, because, I guess I just wanted some type of damage on that thing. Could've went out to Latias, but I don't know why the fuck I didn't go out to Latias. I don't know, I guess maybe I thought after a Swords Dance, a Mach Punch might be able to kill me since that Rotom did get off a few damage on me. But he does some shit where he just uses Mach Punch with the Flight or Fight Gem or something. And now I'm going to go into Latias and Side Shock that bitch. So I don't know why I went to Lucario. I had this battle a long time ago. And by a long time ago, I mean like a week and a half ago. So now he's going to go out to this Genesect because I obviously locked myself into the Side Shock. And I'm going to go into the Ferrothorn because it's fucking asleep. And you know my plan. Try to get up some hazard damage. Try to get off some Iron Barb's damage to where eventually my checks can come in and check that bitch with some priority. So he's going to go into Scizor, kind of thinking he might U-turn, kind of thinking he might Swords Dance. Probably going to U-turn though, so I'm just going to stay in here. Ferrothorn is asleep, and if he does decide to Swords Dance, I'm probably going to have to hit that power button. I don't know. Maybe I still have Politoed, so I'd be able to come in and Hydro Pump that bitch if he did decide to go for the Swords Dance. So he's going to go out to Genesect again. I just want Breloom, or not Breloom, I want my Ferrothorn dead because it's pretty much dead weight at this point, and it is getting off some pretty valuable Iron Barb's damage. So even though it's asleep, still doing a little bit of damage, taking some hits for me while I fucking reorganize my shit and put myself in a position where I can attack some bitches and kill stuff. So He brings in Polytoad, gonna go for Scald. Valuable information, tells me he's the defensive variant, so now I don't have to worry about him being scarfed, even though it was highly unlikely that he'd be scarfed since he does have Genesect, which is more than likely scarfed, and he has Rotom, which already tricked me he's scarfed, so 3 scarfers on a team, probably not the best idea in the world, even though it can work. So I go into my own Polytoad trying to burn this bitch, because I figured I'd be able to beat it one-on-one since, I think I had a little bit more HP than he did, but he ends up going for HP Grass, more than likely HP Grass for Gastrodon, so now that he shows me that, I'm assuming he'll go for it again. Even if he predicts that, I should be able to take a Scald and then I'll kill myself off from life or recoil, but luckily he does go for the HP Grass again, and I'm able to take that rather nicely, finish his shit off with the Earthquake, because Mamoswine is strong as fuck. That shit does a lot of damage with Earthquake. Now he's gonna bring in this Genesect. I don't know what the fuck I do. I probably should have watched this, but I decide to go for the Ice Shard just because, I don't know, he might U-turn, he might Bug Buzz. I just wanted to see what he did, and I don't think I need Mamoswine for anything since the Breloom already died, and I think he's got like Scizor left. I don't fucking know, but now that's gonna leave me free to bring in my check and check some shit. Genesect, I don't know, he couldn't really switch out to anything because pretty much Check is about to put in some work. This Zumro hasn't really been doing shit in my other battles, but, well, I guess it has, because in the other battle that I just narrated earlier, it did some shit. But Zumro wasn't doing nothing in the first couple of times I used this team, but that's just because other people had a lot of counters for it. But it is actually a very, very threatening Pokemon. Choice Bandit Aqua Jet in the rain is not to be fucked around with, because as you just saw, I just killed the Scizor, killed the Rotom, and now this Swampert took a fuck ton of damage, and I don't see leftovers, and yeah, I do see leftovers. Fuck, I thought he was banded, so I don't know. I don't give a fuck, but because that shit did way too much damage, I'm gonna be free to go into my Latias, lock my shit into Surf. Expected it to kill, but it actually doesn't. So then he kills my shit off with the Ice Punch. Probably get it with for Draco Meteor or some shit. But I didn't want to miss, because a miss would have been gay. Because now I can bring in my Polytoad. Don't have to risk the miss with my Hydro Pump and go for the Ice Beam, since his last dude is a Scizor, which will die due to Stealth Rock. So yeah, this narration was fucking horrible, but I don't give a fuck. Comment, rate, all that shit. I'm out.